What's going on, everyone? I'm just your average, atypical Canadian nerd, here to react to your average, everyday, typical American man, here to take a quiz about how much he knows about Canada. At this point in his YouTube channel, he was about 2.5 months into learning about Canada through various YouTube videos, which I have so far covered. I'm doing things chronologically, and I'm up to 11 months ago from today's filming to bring us here. Now, as always, I'm just here to enjoy this content and to add a little bit of context, maybe answer any questions he asks, and give a more thorough understanding of whatever's being covered in these videos. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to add to a quiz, and I have no idea how well he's going to do, other than the fact that this says it's embarrassing. Well, that could be the French word of the day. I don't know, which will happen later in the episode, so make sure to stay tuned if you're interested in that sort of thing. And if you're not interested in this sort of thing, I mean, leave your comments down below. That being said, I'm just gonna get this picture out of the way, get this video started.
What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to take a Canadian quiz. A quiz about Canada. Not some kind of random Canadian math exam or something. Not some kind of math test in Canada. No.
Fun fact, here in Canada, we have laws when it comes to lottery that it can't just be a game of chance, that it also has to have an element of skill. So, if anyone wins a contest, there has to be a skill testing question attached. There are other laws that go along with lottery. I'm not going to get into them right now, but the math question is the standard skill testing question. So if you buy a lottery ticket and you win, you must answer a math question before you can claim your prize. Usually it's a simple math question, something to prove that you know the order of operations. But, hey, that's the kind of math quiz that comes to mind when he says that. Moving on.
No. This is a quiz about Canada, which has me a little on edge, if you will.
I understand that. I did one about Mexico not long ago, and I did not perform very well. Over 50%, but under 80%. Yeah.
A little, I'm wondering... You know, I've learned more and more about Canada doing all of these Canadian reactions.
Well, some videos he shows he's learned, and some he shows that he didn't learn something, which is fine, because we don't always learn something the first time we hear it.
I feel like I know a thing or two, certainly. Goodness knows a lot more than I knew only 1 or 2 months ago.
Yeah, technically 3 is a lot more than 0. Yeah.
But, I mean... This is I don't even know what this quiz is going to be about. I just Googled Canadian quiz. We got the quiz here. 30 questions, multiple choice. It's got me a little nervous. I don't know. I don't know if these are things I just maybe randomly, I YouTubed all the answers to this quiz, and it's going to be the perfect little scenario, perfect turn of events, but I doubt it. So...
Yeah, 30 questions would be kind of intimidating. I get that.
Let's take a look. Let's go. There's nothing left to do but to do it. Canada quiz. What do you know about Canada? Canada's birthday is on
A. July 1st. Not B or C.
Canada's birthday. Like the day Canada was founded? Canada... Oh, jeez.
We call it Canada Day. Kind of like the American Independence Day is on July 4th, which is the answer B.
Oh, man. It's not good in the very first question to already start flipping the coin, but... Oh, we have July for everything? It's not going to be 4th of July, like America.
Although many Americans will think that, yeah.
July 10th. No, I'm glad it lets you keep going. I don't have one life and then I die, or this video would be over. July 1st? Okay. July 1st. I'll try to remember that. The population of Canada is in 2015 was almost. This I'm more familiar with.
Well, recently it has passed 40 million, so back in 2015, I'm going to hazard that it was C, about 36 million. But hey, it's hard to nail these numbers down, especially since a lot of population numbers rise at a nearly exponential rate for some reason that is not connected to birth rate.
Because I feel like I roughly remember, I thought Canada was like a tenth the population of the United States. That's how I remembered it. So 36 million? Come on! So I'm up to 75%. We're doing good. Here we go. Okay, the capital city of Canada is...
Well, that is B, Ottawa, although Toronto and Montreal are capitals of provinces, and Vancouver's a pretty big city. That is often thought to be the capital of British Columbia, which is in fact Victoria, something that I get wrong regularly.
Okay, this one would have gotten me not too long ago. It may still get me right now. But, you know, they're being generous here, because if they threw in a couple of more provinces, just random provinces, I wouldn't even know the difference between those and a city, and it would be very embarrassing.
Yes, it would.
But the new me knows that it's Ottawa. Okay, I was going all in on that one. If I had said that and it was wrong, I was going to turn off the video.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, showing your own ignorance in front of who knows how many people are going to end up watching this in times to come can be quite embarrassing. It's a very stressful situation, and you know, I get things wrong all the time. I don't do it intentionally, and well, thankfully, I don't feel quite that much. You know, I don't really feel emotions the way that normal people do, so I can kind of relate, although I can't absolutely relate.
I was gonna burn this video if I did that. Put a check beside each of Canada's official languages.
Well, that depends on what you mean by Canada and official, but in the grand scheme of things, it's English and French. Although different parts might have, what is that, Inuktitut and Ojibwe? Sure. But are they Canada's official? No?
Is this a trick question? Certainly English. But I know French... Does Canada have a national official languages? Because I feel like the national language is English.
But also French. So because of our major French population, and not only Quebec, but all other provinces, government workers must be able to speak both official languages. And when they're making speeches, they have to switch from English to French and back again. And when they're in the House of Commons, our parliament, during question period, for example, there is a certain number that must be done in French. So it is an official language for all of Canada, regardless of how much it's spoken in your particular province.
But in Quebec, it is French. And maybe English too. I just have to put French. I feel like I'm going to overthink it. Whoever created this quiz. Did a Canadian create this quiz? That's important as well. Getting
Yeah, probably.
into the mindset of whoever created this quiz. No, that's way too meta. English and French. I knew they'd do that. Is French an official language of Canada? In all of Canada? Every province and territory?
Yes.
According to this, it is. Okay. Moving on.
Like, it's not an official language of each province, but it is an official language of the country. And that's why I mentioned that Inuktitut and Ojibwe, could qualify depending on your definition of Canada and official, because some places, like, I could be wrong, but in Nunavut, Inuktitut is a very important language.
The largest city in Canada is. Oh, geez, I learned this.
So again, that depends on your definition of largest. If we're going to go by population density, by cubic kilometer. Anyway, I'm going to go with Toronto because it is kind of the biggest in in many of those senses.
No, I learned this. No. Oh, Toronto, right? Toronto just feels right.
It's fair to say Vancouver and Montreal as well, but I believe largest economy, largest population, largest landmass would be the Greater Toronto Area.
Toronto, Canada. Canada. Can't even say Canada. I'm so worked up. Oh, not Montreal, not Quebec. Wait, no, it'd be Quebec City. Ha! That would have tricked me too. It'd be Quebec City. Quebec's a province. Nice try, quiz.
Well, Quebec City is also known as Quebec. We just dropped the Cité de Québec part, the Cité, city. Just you don't always need to say it unless you're trying to be very specific, saying that you're in Quebec, Quebec.
I'm at 87%. That's not bad. Toronto. Yes. Okay. Yes. I think this momentum is carrying me. I feel like I've gotten the last 4 correct. Luckily, these questions have really been kind of up my alley. Kind of what I've been inadvertently studying.
That they do reflect what he has been shown in videos this far. Yeah. Now our next question here is Canada has how many provinces? And that can be a bit of a trick question because we have provinces and territories. I'll go with B. The answer is 10. We have 10 provinces and 3 territories.
This is working out. Maybe this was meant to be. Canada has blank provinces. 10. 10 provinces and 3 territories.
He learned. Good.
I might have said 15 once upon a time. I may have even said 20 once upon a time. I used to have literally zero picture in my mind of how Canada was divided.
As many people in the world do. Like, I don't know how Australia is divided, but it is.
I had nothing. It might as well have been one big lump of Canada, if you will. But now I know 10. All right, 91%. Keep it going. Put a check beside each of Canada's 3 territories. No.
Yes. So we have the option of Queensland, which is not, Nunavut, Northwest Territories, and Yukon, which are.
Why'd they do this? Certainly the Northwest Territories has territories in the name.
I'm thinking Queensland might be related to Australia. But as mentioned earlier, I don't really know. I just think so, because I haven't been to Australia, despite friends going there, me hearing many stories, me meeting many people from there, and me wanting to go there. It just hasn't happened. Well, it's fine. Whatever.
And I happen to remember that one. I think Yukon is a thing. Just sounds right. Not too long ago, I reacted to a video about the territories and provinces. Really not that long ago. So I feel like if it's in my mind, if my mind is leaning towards something, I should lean into that. Queensland, I just don't remember a Queensland. I feel like I would have said some kind of snappy, quirky remark about Queensland. I would have tried to be clever about that. So
tried at least, we all try sometimes.
None of it? Well, I think that's correct, right? I mean, it doesn't really say that a big you got it correct, but I think it does. When you're wrong, it tells you you're wrong. Okay, so that was correct. Okay.
Well, that's a poorly designed quiz that doesn't tell you when you're right.
Okay. The smallest province in Canada. Oh. Well,
So again, define smallest, but I'm going to go with C, Prince Edward Island, because it is a very small landmass.
it's probably one of the islands, right? Is Nova Scotia an island?
Yeah, and also quite small. But PEI, or Prince Edward Island, is quite small.
Nova Scotia is on the east. So is Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island was pretty small, right? Man, you don't believe the urge I have to use my normal crux and Google a map of Canada. That's what I would normally do in this situation. I'd curl into a ball and Google Canada and figure it out. But not today. Today's quiz day. I'm not doing too bad. This is okay. Prince Edward Island, I think, was pretty small. Yes. 5 out. Oh, it says 5 out of 5. Yes, perfect.
Okay, good.
The only province in Canada which has a majority of French speakers is, oh, get out of here, Quebec, get out of here.
Correct, and the key word there is majority, because there are other places where French is heavily spoken, but Quebec is mostly en français.
Bam. Move along. Too easy. Make it harder. Come on, I'm getting confident now. I'm getting cocky. Make this harder. The leader of Canada is known as
C, Prime Minister. Technically, at this point, we have a king, and that would be King Charles III. But we actually don't recognize the king per se as our leader. Our government leader has a prime minister who at this point in time, being the 4th of Spooktober 2023, it is Justin Trudeau, who is an agent of the Chinese Communist Party and is picking a war with India. Recently had a former Nazi soldier applauded in the House of Commons, while President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, of Jewish descent, was also in the House of Commons. He still hasn't apologized for that. That was over 2 weeks ago.
the king. No, the prime minister. I just wanted you all to get a little nervous there.
Yeah, most of the nation doesn't like our prime minister anymore, want him to resign so we can pick a new one. There's just a process that government has to go through first, and we're waiting for that.
I'm on a streak right now. A combo, and I don't want a combo breaker here.
Like, do you really want your country's leader to be picking a fight with a country that has 10 times your population? Trudeau, what are you even doing, man? Like, you're getting paid by China, but is it worth it to smear our collective name? At this point, I want to say that Trudeau does not speak for the country. He just speaks for himself, and we need to get rid of him. But, hey, that's not in my hands right now.
Prime Minister. Not President, Premier, King. Prime Minister. Yep. I'm getting up to 95%. I don't want to brag or anything. I still have 20 more to go. But let it be known that for a brief moment here, I had an A.
So if you don't want to brag, then why brag? I don't know. Hey, I'm a literalist, and I don't understand people.
I had an A here. 95%. That first question, that was just an anomaly. That first question was nothing. Throw that away. Delete that. That did not set the tone. The current Prime Minister of Canada is...
Well, current must be defined. Earlier we had the year 2015, in which case the answer would have been Stephen Harper, probably. Justin Trudeau came in later that year? Well, currently, now in 2023 and in 2022, when he filmed this originally, still is Justin Trudeau, son of Pierre Elliott Trudeau, who was a prime minister in the past. Although they don't look alike. Hey, look more into that on your own if you want to go down that rabbit hole.
Is Pierre Trudeau. Justin Trudeau. I was like, I know it's Trudeau.
Okay, rabbit hole real quick here. Justin Trudeau looks a lot like Fidel Castro, and the Pierre and his wife visited Cuba around the same time that Justin Trudeau was conceived. So, yeah.
Trudeau. And I was about to click Pierre Trudeau. Is that his father?
Yeah.
Or his uncle?
No.
Is it nobody?
Well, maybe nobody. Played the role of his father, at least.
Wayne Gretzky?
Famous hockey player.
Isn't that a hockey player? Who do they think has taken this test? How dumb do they think I am? Has Wayne Gretzky run for office, though? Maybe.
No, but he does own a winery here in the Niagara region.
Maybe I'm being silly. Maybe he did win some election. Isn't he just a hockey player?
Yes.
I don't know who Stephen Harper is. Justin Trudeau. Yes, most Americans know that, actually. Not just me. The province of Prince Edward Island is famous for... Oh, no.
All right, so you're given the choice of Anne of Green Gables, Big Potatoes, beaches with red sand, or all or none of the above. The answer is all of the above because Anne of Green Gables, potatoes, and red sand are all Prince Edward Island things.
This might be my Achilles heel, the sword that brings me down. Okay, Prince Edward Island is famous for Anne of Green Gables?
You know, in my experience, multiple choice questions, if you get all of the above as an option, it's probably the correct option. But not always, so use your higher discernment on that.
Big potatoes?
Yep.
Beaches with red sand?
Yep.
All of the above, none of the above. No, why did they have to add all of the above and none of the above? Why do they have to do that, man? They do that. That's when the teacher's just trying to get to you. They put that.
Well, it's because if you only have all of the above, then that is usually the correct answer. And if you also get none of the above, well, you get confusion.
Man, big potatoes. The video I watched briefly went over Prince Edward Island and ranked it. I don't remember red sand. Or do I?
Should.
I'm going to start convincing myself of stuff that... This could say that freaking one-eyed cows that are jumping rope on clouds could be there. And I could convince myself that that's correct.
You know, when he added the clouds, that took it away from me. But, you know, one-eyed cows, that's a thing. Jumping rope, sure.
Just because I see it in this list. The more I gotta just go with my gut here, I think. Not big potatoes.
Yeah.
Anne of Green Gables, did that have to do with the lighthouse? One of these had a lighthouse, I thought.
So for anyone unfamiliar with it, Anne of Green Gables is a series of stories with Anne. She called herself Anne of Green Gables. That's all that I can really say about that.
Red sand?
What else is there?
I don't know why. This is gonna destroy me, this question.
Like, tell the
3
story.
out of 5 correct. 3 out of 5 correct.
It's a long
so
story.
2 are wrong? 2 are wrong. I don't like how they put the answer there. I'm just gonna go with all of the above. 2 out of 5. And? Huh. Is that...
Well, I guess the potatoes might not be super big.
I mean, I'm just gonna have to... 3 out of 5? Correct? 4 out of 5 correct? Oh, come on. You had to. I don't like that.
No, me neither, because the answer was D, all of the above, but he had to answer A, B, C, and D, which is a poorly designed quiz.
I'm glad it didn't ruin my average. It just docked me one incorrect answer, even though I answered it like 12 times. I was wondering what it was about to do to me. So it was all of the above. You know, my gut thought A and C. I don't know. Big potatoes? I like potatoes. I'm gonna have to check that out. Big potato? How big are they? The
Uh, they range in size, I suppose, from small to big. The fact is, there's a lot of potatoes produced in PEI.
first inhabitants of Canada were.
Well, let's see. The native people, or the Vikings who showed up, or the French that showed up, or the English that showed up. What do you think?
Well, wait, what do you mean native people? Wouldn't that technically be correct?
Yeah.
Anywhere, if they are the natives, by definition, they're native to that land. What?
Yeah, that's the way the English language works. That's correct, which makes me think that this might have been written by someone who spoke French first. But hey, who knows?
Do I just go for native people? Yeah. Okay. What? This was trying to. What was this question trying to do to me? That was a real logic test right there.
Yeah.
Was that trying to... It has a native in the word. Okay, you know what? I feel like that was trying... That would have got someone smarter, but I played it so dumb and so obvious that it was actually correct. Okay. Very good. Canada was first colonized from Europe by the...
French. Because native people is the wrong answer. They didn't come from Europe. They were already here. The French founded Montreal, Quebec, the province, right? And the English showed up and they founded Upper Canada, Lower Canada. Long story, 7-Year War, yada, yada, yada.
Colonized from Europe. I think English, right? As in British Empire? No. They came a couple hundred years before the British. Obviously, I know about French roots here.
So I find it interesting that the Vikings were not listed as an answer here. I guess that's because keyword colonized, and the Vikings, they did come here first. They set up villages, but they did not establish a colony, right?
Please? Okay. I'm starting to beg with the questions. I still have an 88%. In America, that's a B. I kind of forget in Canada if 88% is still an A.
I can't really say because we never did letter gradings during my schooling. It was always percentages.
Could be. Okay. The third most commonly spoken language in Canada is... Interesting. Not Chinese. Not...
Well, it could be. There's a large immigrant population in Canada, especially on the West Coast. You know, Vancouver has entire Chinese neighborhoods and communities. So that is my inkling, because a native language implies a singular, like Inuktitut, also a singular language, when the First Nations people all over the Canada speak many different First Nations languages.
Not Italian, not Japanese. A native language, or Inuktitut? I would think that some kind of native language, right? The language of the Inuit, formerly known as the Eskimos?
Which was a mistranslation, a misunderstanding. It is a vulgar term to use these days.
Oh, I didn't know if Eskimos had to do with Canadian history. Ooh, goodness. This one's gonna get me. Ah, that's too bad. I just know it's probably not an Asian language, and probably not Italian. In Inuktitut? Eskimos? Mate, probably a native language. No, no. Darn it, I had it checked off and everything. No. Oh, it's a multiple... What? How do I have 3 out of 5? What's going on? The third most commonly spoken language is...
I don't know. Earlier it said he had 3 out of 5 when he'd selected 2 of the options.
Does it want me to select more than 1 at a time? What's going on here? Why did it say I have 3 out of 5?
The third
Well, luckily,
most...
no matter what I do now, I can't get deducted. I can't get penalized more, which is a very nice feature of this quiz, because they kind of, I don't think I'm to blame here. It's a design flaw. Certainly not my fault for not knowing.
It can be both, right? The stuff can be 2 things, and this is definitely a flawed program that he's running through. It is not being very concise with its communication, apparently.
That's what I'm going with. 2 out of 5. What? What if I check them all off? 1 out of 5. I'm so confused.
Maybe like 1 more try out of 5. Uh-oh.
Third most spoken language. Italian? Chinese? Chinese?
Yeah.
Really?
So think back to the Wild West and the construction of the railroads. Who was used to set off dynamite to blast holes through mountains? It was the Chinese. So that was a period of time where many Chinese people immigrated into Canada. And since then, many more have come, and they are always bringing in more people. Heck, in the Toronto area, there's a mall known as the West Pacific Mall, and inside we just call it the Asian Mall because it is full of all these tiny little Asian-run stores. And it is mostly Chinese when you visit there. There are other Asian establishments and restaurants, but mostly it is Chinese. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating. I would never have guessed that in a million years. In a million years. I don't know what the third most spoken language in America is after English and Spanish.
Well, that's a good question that I also don't know the answer to, but I'm going to go with Chinese as well because, I've been to San Francisco.
Maybe it's Chinese. I don't know. There's a decent Chinese population in America. Maybe in Canada too. Okay. Fine. I may have legitimately got that wrong. Canada is famous for... Well, I know now Niagara Falls is partly in Canada.
Correct, and it is the more famous of these 3 options, being Niagara Falls, Victoria Falls, and Yosemite Falls. Have you ever heard of Victoria Falls? Probably not. And Yosemite, you recognize the name. That's because Yosemite National Park is in the United States. So Niagara Falls, which appears both in Canada and New York, and is kind of a border area and near to where I live.
I used to not know where it was and or think it was American, but it's definitely in Canada. Is this multiple choice as well?
No.
Oh, geez. No, I got it. Okay. Whew. Check off the animals which are native to Canada.
So this is a long list, and it's very tiny as far as I can see here. Let me make it bigger for me. Is that bigger for you as well? Yeah, so let me move this around. Okay. So we've got moose, grizzly, polar bears, caribou, cougar, salmon, killer whales. Okay. And now I will try and put this back to regular size. And thank you for bearing with me. Let's continue.
Come on, guys. Why are we putting A through M here? This is just cruel. You know what? That's a bad attitude to have. I can persevere. I can reason through this.
Right.
Native to Canada. Moose. Yes.
Yeah.
Grizzly bears.
Yeah.
No, you're kidding me. We're putting different types of bears? No. Why? I feel like I was going to muscle my way through this.
Well, think of how many types of bears there are in the world. It's important to distinguish that koala bear and panda bear are different from the brown bear, the black bear, the grizzly bear, and so on.
Grizzly bears. How am I gonna... This is gonna take forever to figure out once I get it wrong. I know there's bears. So grizzly bears. Caribou, I think... Not kangaroos, not alligators, not tigers. There might be mountain lions, if I remember. I did do one video where I reacted to kind of animal encounters in Canada. And that's relating to this.
Yes.
There weren't pythons.
No.
Salmon. There could be salmon.
Yes.
Killer whales.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. They are the major and maybe only natural predator of the moose, strangely enough. And I get a kick out of that every time I think about it.
Killer whales? Native to Canada? Maybe. Leopards? I'm going with this. 10 for 13. I don't know what that means.
That is not accurate.
I just realized. What do they mean 10 out of 13? I feel like I got very close, though. Tigers? Nope, that made it worse. Okay, at least I can tell that. I think I'm missing 3 things here. Oh, geesh. Python, salmon, killer whales. I'm missing 2. Or I added 2 that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, so he's missing polar bears, and he should take away the pythons.
Like that? Okay, I think that means good. Leopards? Nope, that made it worse. Oh, alligators? Nope, that made it worse. I gotta check where I'm at. 11 for 13. Polar bears? No. Polar bear? It is cold there.
Yeah.
Polar bears. Dang it. Where did I think? I was thinking too much about the United States, where it'd be absurd to be a polar bear. Dang it. They got me again. Koala bears? Is that the secret? I think that was it. Oh, check. No. No.
Looks like he's missing salmon.
Not koala bears. There's no kangaroos. Get out of here. Okay, good. Not alligators.
Oh.
Leopards? I think I've skipped leopards. No.
Nope.
Salmon? Pythons?
Salmon.
No. I'm 1 off. Oops. Salmon? Salmon! Salmon. It was salmon. Okay. You know, if there are some Canadians out there who could have got this correct,
Hi.
Kudos to you. Impressive, because that was impossible.
Well, considering climate and the fact that we grew up here in Canada, no, that's rather simple for most Canadians. Yeah.
Man, that was... I don't know. I don't know. The animal, which is a symbol of Canada, is...
Well, it's not the chicken, the grizzly bear, or the killer whale, which leaves, yes, the beaver.
The animal that's the symbol of Canada. Animal that's the symbol of Canada. I was immediately thinking of the maple leaf.
In fact, not an animal.
the fierce animal, the maple leaf. Because it said symbol of Canada. But this is animal?
Like, think of the animal that's the symbol of the United States, right? The bald eagle. There you go.
Not killer whale, right? Not chicken. It's beaver or grizzly bear. I don't remember a beaver. I'm gonna go with the bear. Darn it.
Wow.
Beaver. Was it beaver? It was
Yeah.
beaver. Dang it.
We have the beaver on our 5-cent coin. There is a snack known as a beaver tail. It was a major export and trade back centuries ago. Yeah, the beaver.
I probably had seen that at some point or another, the beaver. It just did not register with me. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. My percentage is slowly but surely going down. I went on like a 10 question streak,
Well, he's going to get this one because he just answered it.
and that had to end. I'm like on a 3 question losing streak right now, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm happy with, honestly, I'm doing so much better than I ever hoped. I am happy. The plant, which is a symbol of Canada. Maple leaf. Get out of here. Done.
Yeah.
Bam. Moving on.
Easy.
Canada became a country in the year
67. That is the correct answer. What 67? Was it 600 years ago? No. Was it 400 years ago? No. Was it 200 years ago? Almost.
Why do you do this? There was a war of 1812. Therefore, Canada existed before 1867.
Incorrect. The War of 1812 was actually between England and, well, the United States. But Canada was kind of a thing, so we claim the War of 1812 as our own, despite it not actually involving the country of Canada. It involved the citizens that were Canadian.
I feel like 1667 feels right.
No, back then it was a colony of Canada, not a country. Hey, semantics, right?
Canada is just a baby among nations? Does that mean it's the bigger one? Oh, am I getting that right? War of 1812? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Was Canada not technically Canada at that point?
Right.
That's what it must be.
Well, it was not technically a country at that point.
That's what it is. Darn it. I thought I was being smart there. Instead, I was just being a sucker. Used my own logic against me. This quiz will do that. This quiz will make you into your own worst enemy, is what I've found out. Really in the trenches here. The Canadian city with the lowest annual snowfall is...
All right. This one's interesting, and not anyone is going to get that answer particularly. But Canadians should, because Toronto, they don't get a lot of snow, but they get snow. Regina, they get a lot of snow. And Victoria gets rain.
is. Lowest snowfall would be something very south, right? Is
You'd
that
think
vaguely
so.
correct? I don't know where Regina and Victoria are, so I have to go with Toronto. Darn it. Regina. How did I randomly pick it the last? I randomly chose Victoria last. I don't know where Victoria is. I'm sorry.
So Victoria would be in British Columbia, which is north of California. And California is known for fantastic weather, and so is Victoria and most of British Columbia. Well, southern British Columbia. Victoria and Vancouver, anyway, they don't get a lot of snow, but they sure get a lot of rain because they're on the coast.
Haven't done a video on that at any point, but not too much. The lowest annual snowfall. Sounds good to me. Sounds like a good place.
Yeah. Cost of living is kind of high, though.
Terry Fox is a Canadian hero because...
All right, so Terry Fox, a well-known name here in Canada. He lost a leg to cancer and wanted to raise money to help other kids with cancer. So he ran across the country. There are many streets and places and monuments named after Terry Fox, like streets called Terry Fox Road. not necessarily because he was on that road, but because he was a famous inspirational figure. So the answer here would be A, he tried to run across Canada to raise money for cancer research after losing his leg to the disease.
Terry Fox? I don't know Terry Fox. Terry Fox? He tried to run across Canada to raise money for cancer research after losing his leg to the disease. That actually sounds familiar. That actually sounds like a thing.
And it is. He made it very far. He did a great job, and he's a national hero as a result.
He scored the goal, which gave Canada the gold medal in hockey in the last Olympics.
I mean, that would make a hero, but no.
No idea. He was the first Prime Minister of Canada.
Also a good idea, but incorrect.
No idea. Could very well be. I've heard of the cancer research, but that could have been someone else. But here we go. It was Terry Fox. Let's go. Okay. The maximum distance from the most eastern point of Canada to the most western point of Canada is approximately...
one road. We call it the Queensway. It's also known as the 17. And through Ottawa, it becomes the 417, indicating that it is a 400 series road, means that it's 2 lanes going one way, 2 lanes going the other way, and they're divided in the middle. But more specifically, the size in kilometers is hard for an average human to wrap their head around, because when you get into thousands of kilometers, it just kind of becomes a little incomprehensible. So this answer I might get wrong, but it's not 3,500, it's not 5,500, it's either 7,500 or 9,500, and I'm going to go with 9,500. I feel like I'm wrong, and it's 7.5, which is why I said I'll probably get this wrong.
Oh no. It's probably approximately the same distance as the United States.
Yeah.
I don't know how wide the United States is.
Right?
No one's got time to look that up.
Oh, especially in kilometers.
Oh, jeez.
Because in the US, they deal in miles.
And we're talking in kilometers, too. This was failure from the beginning. I don't know what a kilometer is. All right, I know what a kilometer is.
It's like, what, roughly 2.2 kilometers to a mile?
But, no. All right, we just have to use the spirit of Canada be with me. 7,500. Yes!
Right, so my instinct to think that it was 7,500 was correct, but my brain saying, no, it's gotta be bigger, wrong. So hey, I get one wrong. Good for me.
Canada! Canada's on my side today. The spirit is with me. Okay. I knew it all along. Don't let anyone tell you different. Canada's largest trading partner is...
Well, all 3 of these answers make sense, because China is the manufacturing center of the world. Japan is the technological center of the world. The United States, they're right there. They're our next door neighbors. So that's the correct answer. They are our largest trading partner.
The United States. Of course. Best buddies. This I did learn. I learned that specifically from a video. That is awesome. 90% of the population in Canada is concentrated within approximately blank kilometers of the U.S. border. Well, this is it's starting to all come together. These are things I've actually listened to before.
True, and that's a hard one to answer, because technically, if A is the correct answer, so is B and so is C, right? So I'm just going to let this one go.
Things I've looked up. Wow, this is kind of beautiful. These are all starting to relate to a different video. It's wonderful. It's very, very, very close to the border. Yeah. 60 kilometers, I'm going to say. Darn it, 160. Okay. 60 was too ambitious.
All right, 160 makes sense. Although So does 260. Well, it's because the border wraps vary around in multiple places. So, like, parts of Quebec that have major cities are not that far away from parts of the United States. Likewise with Ottawa. Yeah.
160. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take it. Wayne Gretzky is Canada and the world's greatest.
And this would be hockey player. There was other people that are famous golfers, figure skaters, and ballet dancers, but Gretzky was the hockey player known as the Great One.
Ballet dancer. No. Hockey player. I do know that. For some reason, Americans just are aware of Wayne Gretzky. I don't know why. I don't follow hockey. But I know Wayne Gretzky. He must have been that freaking good at hockey.
Yeah, he's like the Michael Jordan of hockey.
Even I know him. And I don't know anything else about hockey. The province of blank has twice held a vote to decide if we wanted to separate from Canada and become an independent country.
Yeah, so I don't even need to be able to read this to know the answer is Quebec, because they have had referendums that said, we want to be our own nation, we want to separate from Canada. And this supports my idea that it was a francophone who wrote this test because of the inclusion of the word we while he was saying it.
So a province that voted to see if they wanted to separate from Canada. The only thing that would make sense to me would be Quebec because of the extreme different cultural differences.
Yes.
In the language.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
That Quebec would be the answer.
It does.
There you go. Okay, and it brought me back to 80%. Needed that. I don't know if it's possible at this point to get back to 90%, but if I can stay above 80, I'll be happy. The people of Canada are mostly of blank origin. Around 68% of the population.
So what? I see this as British, Chinese, French, or native Indian. Okay, so this one is confusing for me because native, many, Indian, many, but they are not the same, right? Indian is from India, and native would be from here. Majority, mostly, those are different words. Around 60% of the population, well, that's most likely British, but we have a lot of Chinese people. There's a lot of people that descended from France, and there's a lot of people from India, and there's a lot of natives. So this is a bit of a confusing one.
Oh, no. British? It's British or French?
Well, I am mostly German blood, but I have British as well.
I mean, I don't even know how closely related Quebec and France are, to be honest. British. I have to go with British. Yes! Yes! Sorry, didn't mean to get too excited there, but that made sense to me. I know how related they are to the British Empire, to Great Britain, still to this day. Okay, very good. We're almost out of here. Put a check beside each of the following places, which are provinces of Canada.
Okay. So this one's a little small as well, but I can see Montreal, not a province. Quebec, both a province and a city. British Columbia, province. Saskatoon, province. Yukon, a territory. Manitoba, a province. Newfoundland, a province. Toronto, a city. Ottawa, a city. Okay, cool.
This question is designed to make me look like a moron. This is just made to make me look dumb.
Cool.
Some of these are going to be cities, I bet. Dang it. And I've looked at some of these too. Provinces. Quebec. British Columbia.
Yeah.
Is Yukon?
Oh my god, did I say Saskatoon is a province? No, I was thinking Saskatchewan because they both start with Sask. Saskatoon is a city in Saskatchewan. I was... Wow. I haven't finished my coffee today.
Are any of these territory? That would just be cruel.
Yeah, Yukon.
Manitoba. Newfoundland. Then we get to these ones, which, for some reason, since I started this channel, the names of Montreal, Toronto, Ontario... Actually, Ontario is a province, now that I say it out loud.
Oh, does that say Ontario? I read Ottawa. And when I first looked at it, I saw Orleans. I guess, I need to get my eyes checked. Because I'm having trouble with tiny letters for the first time in my life.
These names just sound like cities to me, even though they might be provinces. And some of the provinces sound like cities. And even after looking at them, my brain can't get it straight.
And that happens with all sorts of places, like the United States. A lot of the states sound like cities, such as Rhode Island. That makes me think of a city, but apparently it's a state.
From memorization. Yukon. Yukon could be one. Saskatoon could be something. Montreal.
Oh. No.
Toronto.
Don't do it.
No. Okay. Oh!
All right, looks like he got that right. And that means he did not select Yukon, because that is in fact a territory, not a province, but that's a technicality. Yeah.
I died. 9 out of 9. 9 for 9. I got all of them correct.
Okay. I'm starting to understand this grading system. Check mark or no check mark is a correct answer. So when it said 3 out of 5, that means that 3 of those answers were supposed to or not supposed to have check marks, which can be confusing for sure.
Wow. That is by far my biggest achievement during this quiz and possibly on the entire channel is getting that question correct.
That's a good job.
That would have... If my life was on the line not too long ago, I would not have been able to answer that. This was my best effort. I was starting to sweat, but it was worth it. Okay, moving on. Okay. It's a win in my book. Doesn't matter what happens now. Here we go. The 30th question. This was a marathon. Put a check beside each of the following celebrities who are Canadian. I even did a video on this once.
Oh, okay, that's a lot of words that are all very small. So I'm just gonna press play.
It didn't cover every Canadian, but some of these I know. Canadian celebrities. Why does this have to be the 30th question?
All right, so I see Ryan Gosling, yes, Canadian. Justin Bieber, yes, Canadian. Moving on.
Oh, no. Ryan Gosling, yes. Justin Bieber, yes. Rick Nash, basketball. Probably not. Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
It's gotta be, right? Keanu Reeves, yes.
Yeah.
Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I don't know. Shania Twain, I don't know. Diana Krall, I don't know. Jazz pianist, I don't... Golf champion, no. Pamela Anderson? Really?
Yeah,
Avril
I think
Lavigne,
so.
I think she is, actually.
Yeah?
I randomly know that. Jim Carrey is, isn't he?
Yeah?
Mike Myers, I didn't...
Yeah?
I feel like he could be from Scotland, because he did Shrek.
Scottish heritage, but Canadian-born.
But he did Austin Powers, who is British. Oh, no. I gotta put Mike Myers. Neil Young? I don't know.
Yeah?
Jacques Villeneuve?
Jacques Villeneuve.
I don't know. No idea.
Yeah.
I couldn't. This is 7 out of 15. I think I got that as wrong as you can. I got it as wrong as you can possibly get it almost. I should just invert everything. I don't know. Do this. That's one. Okay. Neil Young.
Yeah.
Yep, that's another. Pamela Anderson? That's another?
Yeah.
Mike Weir is another.
All right.
Diana Kroll? That's another.
Yeah.
Wow, I did get every single one wrong. Shania Twain? That's another.
Shania.
Wait. Are they all? That's just cruel. That's just wrong.
Oh, that is totally a trick question. Every one of them was a yes. Oh, wow. Unlucky. But hey, they all seemed very French, very Canadian, except the ones that I didn't recognize. Like the Formula One. That was Jacques Villeneuve. Ouais, je sais Jacques Villeneuve. Il est français, canadien. Yeah.
Are they all Canadian?
Yeah.
What kind of sick, twisted person made this question?
Right?
And then didn't put... Of course, in this one, they didn't put all of the above.
That would be too easy.
Is that really the answer? Hey, I got 80%. Okay, we're fine. You know what? Whatever. Don't care. 80%. I've completed the exercise. What happens when you click OK? Oh, that's it. You just get stuck here forever. Oh, okay. Show all questions. Yeah. This was fun. This was good. I feel like part of me wanted to take this quiz, and then I assumed I was going to do so bad that maybe I'd take it again in like a year or something to see how good I do. But I got 20 out of 30 right.
And these were not easily programmed or obvious. There was tricks in there for sure, like the all of the above, having to actually select all of the above and all of the above. Oh.
I don't know how that makes 80%. That's like 66%, but whatever. I'm not going to think about that. 80%, yeah, great. 80%, perfect. But I did enjoy this, and I did a lot better than I thought. I don't know what y'all watching, how you think I did, or if this came across as something that a 6-year-old in Canada would have aced and got a 100% correct. If like a 5-year-old in Canada could do this, and I'm celebrating 20 out of 30. But hey, I mean it.
Yes. Good job, Tyler. You did better than we thought. And yes, a 5-year-old might be able to do all these, but 100% probably not because of the way it was coded. You're doing good. We're proud of you. You've learned.
I did good for me.
Yeah.
And shocking amount of these questions were very relevant to what I've been looking at on YouTube the past few weeks. So that was actually very fun.
Like me, native-born Canadian, I wouldn't have got 100% because of the kilometers.
to have that happen. That was nice. That really made everything come together. So, enjoyable.
Yes.
Anyway, if you found this enjoyable
or if you did,
well,
go ahead,
feel
like
free
this
to
video.
Give this video a like or leave a comment.
Or that video.
And if you're interested in more
Thoughts
videos
down
like
below.
this, me, reacting and looking.
responding
Usually I
to
react to
him,
Canadian videos.
reacting
Today,
to things,
I took
taking
a Canadian
quizzes,
quiz, because why not? Let me know if you enjoyed
learning
that.
about our
And if
country
you'd enjoy me
and
doing
our
other
people,
stuff like this, kind of not
more of
necessarily
this
a video
kind of thing,
that I'm watching
just
and
for
reacting
fun,
to, but
mostly, but
something
also
that a little more interactive,
educational,
having to do with Canada still.
just
Let me know if you enjoyed
enjoyable
that, or if you hated
me.
it. Whatever,
Hope
doesn't
for you
matter.
as
Let me know
well.
what you think.
Otherwise,
Anyway,
why are you still
and,
here?
feel free to
Go ahead.
subscribe for more videos like this. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Yes, thank you very much for watching. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're glad that you came here. And let's get to the French word of the day. So first, we'll get back to this title image, this is embarrassing. And, well, it's simple. Embarrass. Embarrass in French is embarrass. Not very useful in your day-to-day conversation, I know. But, hey, let's say en français, in French. There, that's going to be more useful. Embarrass in French is embarrasse en français. There. And that's all I've got for now. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this even a little bit as much as I did. I had a good time laughing and such. And hey, just keep being awesome. Bye.
Science, spirit, life, Nerd Pumpkin.